Let's get the music up. All right. But on mute. I mean, you really shouldn't just. I mean, if you're gonna have it on. I mean, yes, but why not just get rid of it anyway? I've done it before though, so I can like tab out to speak after the game. All right. Hey peeps, what's up? So we got the finals. Of the beginner league. Ziggy 12, who is actually Leon, versus Tandorko. I don't know. I actually don't play Leon that much. But I think Tandorko's favoured here. I don't know by how much though. So we got Squirrel, Toad, Falcon, Skunk, Snake, Wolf against Squirrel, Toad, Skunk, Snake, Owl, Balloon. Oh, by the way, Meek, didn't you want a co-cast? You can hop on if you want. Okay, so Wolf, usually I would give the edge over Owl. Oh, Leon 3-0 Tandor earlier. Cool. Yeah, I'll hit you with a quick phone call. Yeah, you can just join the voice channel actually, that'll work. I'll send you the password as well. Hello?
Hello, hello.
Hi. Alright, so I don't know, you're probably not in the lobby yet, but...
No, but I'll be there shortly.
Yeah. Okay. We are experiencing a bit of lag. Map-wise, it looks pretty even, I think. Tandorko has an easier third base, but if Leon can get good map control, he can expand down here safer and get more farms going. Okay, we're about to hit the minute mark right now. Okay, expanding. Expansions for both players. No one actually put down any units yet, despite the fact that they're actually quite close together. And my controller is moving all over the place. It's clearly broken. Pretty Leon favoured. I mean, only in the late game. This easy third mill is pretty good for Tandorko. Like, Leon If Leon can get to a third base, though, then he basically wins. Because it's pretty much impossible for Tendorko to expand outwards. He might be able to take this one. Maybe. But that would still give Ziggy Leon 2 extra mills. Or an extra mill. Whatever. Tendorko's still not putting any units down. Going for the skunks. Leon has his squirrels out. He could push. No, he's going to sell. What's he going to go for? What's this?
These are player cards, if you ever want to show them at the end.
I will try and get those up on the overlay.
Are we at the 250 mark?
255, 256,
All right.
57.
I'm caught up.
Alright. So we got skunks and snakes coming out from both players right now.
Yeah, both of these players have been putting in a lot of work on the ladder, clan wars, just training in general. Really upped their game in the past few months. Whose deck do you favor in this matchup?
Tendorko's. Oh no, sorry, Leon. I got them mixed up. Leon. I think the wolf beats the owl, and when it's down to like 1 or maybe 2 tier 3s, the owl can outscale the wolf, but I give it to in the early tier 3 matchup. I think the wolf is favored.
I would have to agree. However, some good toad hits could change everything.
Yeah, always can. Wolf, I think, is a bit weak. God damn it.
Oh!
I'm trying to do the overlay, but I don't think I can get them up because they're not in the right file type.
Well, Tando Draco ended up taking an engage in a really tight choke point.
Yeah.
It was really susceptible to Leon's lizards. If you want to download the overlay, you would have to. I can send you the application you have to download, and then you download the PNG files from there.
Okay. Shoot, Leon. I mean, Tendorko coming in, his commander going down is a big blow, but he was also just losing that fight already. This forward hold from these forward warrants from Tendorko are very vulnerable. Not quite sure what happened there. It looked like Tendorko split his army up.
You take a look at the army graph. Leon's a little bit ahead in both economy and army.
Quite a bit ahead of
Yeah.
army.
These toad engages have just been the story of this entire match.
Yeah, Tendorko never really had a good answer to him. And now this mill is going down. Which looks like Leon win here. He's now 5 farms ahead. Hugely ahead in army. And he's got complete map control.
Yeah, Tendo Draco's just gonna have to work on taking better angles of engagement in the matches to come up, because his angles just cost him so dearly this match. Yeah, probably knowing the base race was his only hope, but got caught, and that's going to be game 1.
Alright, point to Leon. I'm trying to get these, I don't know, I don't think these cards really matter. I'll give that away, but since someone worked on them, I will try and get them to work. But it's a bit tricky.
Oh, Leon going for a build a lot more similar to Tender Draco. The only difference being lizards instead of squirrels and mines instead of balloons. Looking at the map, Tendo Draco definitely has the better expand. 2 easy expansions on the high ground. Ziggy has one on the high ground, but it's pretty close to Tendo Draco's natural, so it might be a bit more difficult to contest, especially if Tendo Draco can get some balloons. So I imagine this will probably be a 2 base off of Ziggy into an owl push, but we'll see
I can't.
if he can even hold with the lizards. Going for an early Warren, Tendo Draco's scouts going for an early double. Now there's not really an easily pokeable pig, so this probably won't account into anything. And sells one down. Going for the psych out. He is going to get his economy at equal speed because they're both 2 farms to go. Ziggy re-upping to the second Warren. Now, I've said many times over, I'm not the biggest fan when it comes to playing Lizard Toad. I think it's very hard to defend with, right? An opponent's Toads beat Toads and Lizards. So how are you going to compensate if your opponent's running Toad?
I think I agree. I think I'd definitely take Squirrel Toad over Lizard Toad. And we saw it multiple times in the PBC where we had a Lizard Toad versus Squirrel Toad matchup, and usually 9 times out of 10 the Squirrel Toad would win it. Oh my god.
That said, Leon has made it happen before. Will he make it happen again? Some potential early Lizard harass, but Leon backs off. Tando going for a pretty safe expand. I wouldn't keep his units so exposed out here. Like, some Lizards could run in, probably get good value. But the Toads are there, so he feels confident enough. He's going to pick up a mine that's scouted, and now Tando Draco knows that there's mines, and, you know, half of the benefit of mines is surprising them the first time they pop, so that's a pretty nice scout for Tando Draco. Just to be aware of what his opponent's deck slot is. Now, Ziggy is getting the more forward mill, and Tando Draco didn't take the mill adjacent to it and put any balloons up, so this is actually going to be an uncontested mill. Like, the high ground isn't going to be a detriment anymore.
I think, yeah.
But that's it.
Like, Leon's just taken this mill completely uncontested. But, I mean, Tandorko should be able to just move in with Squirrel Toad if he micros it well. He's also got higher numbers.
He'll have to be careful. Fighting around a mill is always tricky.
Yeah.
But he's going to go for it, and I don't think he's going to get a sell on this first farm.
These farms are building. Oh, great
Beautiful
Toad
engage.
hits.
That's it right there.
That's got to be GG.
It's why playing Squirrel Toad is so dangerous. They can both get obliterated by that one Toad bomb.
Lizard Toad, but yes.
Yes.
Okay.
My apologies. And now this time, Tando Draco's 5 farms up.
Okay, not giving up yet, which I like. The newer players give up a lot. They fight. They don't give up as quickly as the more veterans. Maybe they just don't know how screwed they are. Maybe it's naivete, but I appreciate it.
The man's got Moxie, I'll give him that. But this is a dire situation for sure. I mean, Tando Draco can just sit back and defend.
I am, of course, slightly biased, rooting for Leon, as we are both members of the
just murderous
glorious
Toad
United Kingdom. But the points are currently 1-1. My first loyalty is, as ever, to Deuce and Tail, so I'm hoping this goes all the way to Game 7. And I actually managed to get the player cards up. So I'm going to briefly show them off. I think they're in line. That needs to go up a bit. Otherwise it's going to drive me nuts. Okay. Okay, so we got Leon on Tandorko. US versus UK. 23 versus 16. Leon is pretty young. In fact, we had to do this at this time because Leon actually needs to get in bed for school tomorrow. He can't stay up any later. So, Leon is actually by far the higher ranked player. 377 to 611. But, I mean, that's only two camel points. You know, that quickly falls off. Tandorko plays with controller, and Leon plays with keyboard. Always nice to see that there's pretty even split between controller and keyboard players at all levels. I'm a controller player myself. And Tandorko also the more recent player, playing since last year, 2020, whereas Leon has been since 2017, although I'm fairly certain he's actually had a break at some point. So those are the stats. I can now focus on casting the game itself. Thank you for holding the fort while I messed around with images and downloads and whatnot.
All good, all good. Tando Draco got his eco a little faster because Ziggy had some early game shenanigans, building war and selling them again. Ultimately, it put his 8th farm a bit behind Tando Draco's. He's going for the 3-3, 3 squirrels, 3 lizards. It's an interesting comp. I don't really think it's going to do well in a engage against 6 of either squirrels or lizards. So hopefully he can get more of those unit groups up to make them more useful. And that's different. That's different than 3 lizards or 3 squirrels and 3 toads if you're playing against a lizard player. Because 3 toads and 3 squirrels is perfectly fine early game if you're trying to defend against lizards.
I think Tandorko... I mean, the more squirrels that Ziggy can get up, Leon can get up. I hate that he's called Ziggy instead of Leon. Yeah, I think there is a way you can work around the squirrel toad, especially if you keep deliberately low numbers of lizards just to run in. So you force their toads to blow up. You have to play the numbers well, otherwise you'll just be losing, you know, equal or greater amounts of food, but...
Ooh, and Ziggy never put anything on the mill, so he's gonna go in. He might even get a couple snipes. Tando Draco out of position.
The lizards do go into the toads, and now they're a couple of
toads get there
reinforcing
just
lizards.
in time.
Nah, but Tandorko's still getting forced back. He's going to lose a farm here. Leon not focusing down those toads, which he should have been. A lot of damage wasted on the mill. I think focus firing left a bit to be desired there, but still, he got a farm. There's nothing to sniff at.
At the end of the day, Tando Draco's still 2 farms up on Ziggy. His not quite built yet.
Yeah, Leon
and 100 food plus in the bank.
And slam down his farms, but he does leave himself vulnerable while he's doing that.
If Ziggy's gonna keep playing this kind of style and this poke style with the lizards, he can't just take forward engages. He keeps thrusting his lizards just forward. He has to really try to get some arc.
Yeah, I mean, he could bring his lizards just up and around. There's plenty of open space. There's a bit of water, but it's nothing to really worry about. Anyway, these squirrels for Tandorko are just way ahead. Way out of position here. A lot of them are going to get picked off. Who's going to go for an
bring their
hour?
armies to even. In fact, yeah, now their armies are dead even.
Okay. 2 skunks for Tandorko.
I think that helped Leon stabilize. In fact, he might even be thinking tier 3.
Yeah, I would have thought tier 3.
When you float food like this, the best way you can justify it is by building an expensive unit.
Yeah. Instead, he's gonna... I mean, as long as you spend the food, it's not floating, it's just saving. But I really would have considered going for an owl. It might be better that he didn't, since Tandorko's going for 4 skunks. The snakes might help out more. But how does he
hold this push from Tando Draco?
I mean,
9
he's
toads.
So behind. He needs his lizards coming in at the right angle. I don't know why he sent them into the toads when he could have sent them into the squirrels. But
not only that, he put them into his own squirrels. So
yeah,
toads got double value for Tando Draco.
Leon did exactly the wrong thing there. He ran his lizards into the toads and while clumping up the lizards with the squirrels, so the toads could hit both. But Tandorko retreats anyway. Perhaps a bit too scared of the skunk.
Double owl. I like it.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. I think is it James who's trying to popularize the double owl. Like, if you're going to build one owl, build two.
I think that's his motto. Though he's definitely a boar player and Fox at heart.
Yeah, I always find it's tricky to defend this, but
I wouldn't push here from Tandro Draco. You've got a lot of money in 2 unbuilt owls right now.
Yeah, but he doesn't need to commit to the push. He just needs to make it. If he makes it look like he's pushing, he can sort of scare Leon off, force
Looks
him
like
into
some
playing
successful
defensive.
posturing.
Yeah. You don't want to
Ziggy spending money on the mines.
Yeah, you don't want to scare them too well, or they might just think that their only option is to attack you. But
He gets the scout off.
yeah, good scout by Leon, and Tandorko is completely supply blocked. He has to sell down to get these owls going. And now, oh, Leon knows that he can come in. Or doesn't he? It looked like he did.
I mean, the army graph is going his way right now.
I mean, he could just take his lizards up and pick off these warrens. Like, Tandorko's
Leon-
army is completely out of position to defend that.
Leon pretty much has 20 seconds to win this game
Yeah.
before these 2 owls
He's
pop. Once
put
the
down
owls
2 of
pop,
his
I
own
don't-
owls. That's a
Oh!
terrible idea because he's like 50 seconds behind.
That's a red flag right there.
Yeah.
Those owls are never getting out.
and what's
I
he-
guess Ziggy's reasoning is I can hold with my skunks
Maybe
until
he
my owls
can.
pop.
Maybe he can, but that's risky. And I don't know why he just left his lizards out in the middle here. Maybe he wants them to come in on the... I mean, honestly, that was not actually a bad trade. That was 9 lizards for 9 toads. That's a fair trade, but Tandorko has all these mice behind it. But my god, this skunk gas is huge. Still, Tandorko does come away with a 2-farm advantage. And Ziggy needs to sell something to get the second owl building. Sells us
Some tier 2 got killed for Ziggy, so that was still a really good trade.
Yeah.
Looking at the army graphs
Hmm.
for Tando Draco, he's coming back.
Yeah, well, he should. There's no reason for him to stop. He's clearly got the advantage. He wants to be poking with these owls as much as he can.
Tando Draco going for the kill.
Yeah, this is looking
All of
bad
Ziggy.
for Leon. He's got one owl
Leon's
out
first owl
finally,
popped.
but I don't think it's going to matter much.
He doesn't have any more skunk gas. All of
Yeah.
his skunks are down.
And the mill follows quickly. Oh, he might have picked off that. No, Tandorko, that owl should be healthy enough to survive. Yeah. Leon's in real trouble.
A bit of a timing issue on Leon's part. He had an opportunity to push, and then maybe he had a chance to even hold, but going up for those 2 owls.
Going
was
up for
not the
2
play.
owls was a terrible idea. He could have pushed, or he could have, if he put the 2 owls down, he needed to send his lizards round and actually pick off those warrens. Because he definitely could have. Tandorko's army was completely in the wrong position. And that would have been such a game-winning move to get like 540 food worth of value. Even if you lost all your lizards, it would have been worth it. Yeah, and then even if the army did get pulled back to protect the warrens, he can just rally all from that position and his army will come in and start hitting the mill. Could have got Tandorko in a pincer maneuver. But I guess this is a beginner league. Maybe that's a little advanced. But I feel like... I know it's a beginner league, but these are still pretty solid players. It feels like it's a bit patronising to suggest that just because they're in the beginner league, we shouldn't expect much of them.
I mean, Ziggy has had, or Leon has had some amazing Lizard Micro in his semifinals, I felt, against Snake. I thought he played the Lizard Toad exceptionally.
I forgot
But
to...
not so much this match. In fact, his results were so poor with the Lizard Toad, I guess, from his perspective. He decided to switch it up into Squirrel Toad. I still think Ziggy's deck is fine. I think you just have to play accurately and keep your tier 2 healthy, and then push with the wolf, and you're good.
Yeah. The lizards actually would have done well here, because Tandorko's not got the toads. He's gone for pitching. Instead, lizards would go through basically all of Tandorko's deck apart from the owl. And even then, lizards still have their purpose because they can chase the owl down very well. But, you know, toads are strong. Plenty strong in their own right. We'll see how they do. And another very greedy game from both players. Tandorko putting down 3 farms on his expansion before a single Warren. Like, Leon needs to scout this and he needs to push. Like, this is so ripe for punishment.
Wow, Tando Draco. Still nothing.
He
This
just
is
put down his Warrens.
ballsy.
And Leon, oh my god, I can't believe he didn't rally there. Okay, maybe... He's obsessed with clearing this mine. Like, that's the least important mine in the field. It's not even in the way. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't give any information. It's not close to the mill. It's not in the path that Leon's going to take. It's the least important mine, like, there could possibly be. But it's
In the end,
distracted Leon for
Leon
like a solid minute.
In the end, he ended up getting his eco a little quicker than Tendo Draco. As I say that, Tendo Draco goes up to 7 farm while Leon's still on 6. But I think his deficit is rather negligible. He even got like 20.
Leon could still push. He's seen that the Warrens were just building. He should probably at least sell one of his own Warrens. Okay, now he's pushing, but he's going to walk into some mines.
Yeah, I don't think he can push here.
Yeah, not with the mines down.
He could go around. Wait, can he? Yeah, he totally could.
Yeah, but it's a pretty long path, and there's a lot of narrow corners where... I mean, if you get all the way down to this, like, edge with the tents, and you run into a mine, then your army's taken massive damage. It can no longer push anyway, so you have to walk all the way back.
Yeah, I mean, 12 toads wrap around Toad Bomb on the mill would just be exquisite, but I don't think we'll see that here.
Yeah, I don't think that's likely.
Now this is a good opportunity for Ziggy to drop the fox or the wolf. In fact,
yeah,
this is
that's exactly
great.
what he's doing. That mine, does it
bit
give
exposed.
vision? Yeah, the mine does give vision on the tier 3. So if Tandorko is paying attention to his minimap, he'll see that there's a really out of the way Warren, and he should be able to deduce that it's a tier 3. It's a pretty useful scouting mine. Like, there's no other reason you'd put a Warren this far in the corner.
I mean, he's choosing to push. I wonder
What
if
is
that's
Leon
what the knowledge
doing?
he
Where's
has.
he moving his army? Does he expect Tandorko to come in this way? I think he does, but he's got it wrong, and he's a bit slow on bringing his army back.
Surprise, surprise, he's way out of position.
Yeah.
Oh, lucky for him, Tando Draco doesn't capitalize.
Lucky he doesn't lose his commander. But this is still an advantageous engagement for Tandorko.
His snake went down really fast, so he doesn't really have the manpower
okay.
to tag these tier 2. I actually think
Actually,
Leon's in a
this has
great
gone
spot here.
really well for Leon. Like, it started with Tandorko getting the skunk gas down and picking off a farm. But
I think if
it just
if
quickly
Tando,
turned
yeah.
around.
I think if he 8 farms right here, if he 8 farms right now, or maxes out on eco and holds, he might still be in it. But
I mean, the
this
wolf is about to come
bad.
up. It's going to be pretty hard for Tandorko to hold against that.
Leon might get scared from the mines. He might back
Yeah.
off a little longer than he needs to.
He kind of needs to 8 farm if he's trying to play long against the wolf. Because the wolf is just going to be buffing up the eco.
What are you trying to do with 300 food, Leon? What are you...
Going to put down 2 more wolves? He keeps
Making a
moving his army
retirement
back
fund?
here. He keeps expecting Tandorko to attack from the right. But he keeps moving in the same way he'd attacked the last 3 times. But yeah, as predicted, Tandorko is getting rinsed here. Why did he move in when he's just put down like 5 farms?
I mean, Leon has 500 food in the bank and he doesn't even need it.
Yeah, it's a very perplexing. Like, if you've put down this much eco, you should wait for it to pay for itself. Especially if you know your opponent is going to be ahead of you in the army, which Tandorko should have known,
Oh.
given that Leon.
Well, this
just
is
won that
actually an
fight.
issue.
Yeah, that
Ziggy
wolf
lost
going
his
down.
wolf and didn't get much from that attack. In
Yeah,
fact,
he got
the
one
mill he
empty
killed was
mill.
already fallowed.
Is Ziggy about to throw? I mean, he had enough food saved up that the wolf is instantly rebuilding. And Tandorko, I think, is way out of position here. He can't take this fight with this army. He's going to, though. He needs to be targeting those falcons with the snakes, but snakes just keep on dying so quickly. Tandorko, stop running in. Let your army build. You need to chill. Tandorko has
I think
such a weak lead.
Ziggy just has too much still. I mean, he has the Falcon. He has like superior late game tech. And this is actually the second time this has been an issue. Tando Draco doesn't take Falcons. He takes more Skunk Snake, but he doesn't really utilize the mid game, which is when
Yeah.
Skunk Snake is so strong. And he lets Ziggy tech into Falcons for free.
He also never went for his own tier 3. But it looks like he might be able to pick this off if you can just get some decent target fire on these falcons. A lot of them are dying.
The snakes are gone.
Yeah.
There's no way.
I mean, he is still ahead on eco.
But at
Could
some point, like, how much is that worth? His army's
I don't know,
mush.
he's lost like 2-3 armies at this point. It looks like he's trying to focus fire the wolf. And I mean, he gets it. And now there's another snake, but oh my god. Tandorko, please, stop losing these snakes instantly. Okay, he loses his tier 2. Tandorko is just hemorrhaging tier 2. But he might just be able to keep it, and yeah, he does. I don't think Leon needed to surrender there. I don't think Leon knew
Leon surrendered? Oh my goodness.
how well he was doing. Like, yeah, he was behind an eco, but Tandorko was
I'm
just
sure he's gonna
throwing
regret
away
it when he sees
units.
this army graph.
Oh my god, I don't want to be too mean, but that micro left a lot to be desired.
What were we saying about premature surrenders earlier?
Early players usually don't do them. Oh,
Tando Draco with the hold,
yeah,
down
Tando Draco
tech and tempo. He makes it work.
with less army, less eco, less tempo, and with worse micro, manages to win. But I mean, he's on match point now.
Pigs OP, what can I say?
Wolf buff pigs should not be underestimated. You'd be surprised what they can do.
It took me a long time to realize that you can wolf buff arty cannons. That's some of the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, really? Wolf buff defenses are great. Like, they're so hard to push into. Wolf buff
Like, I think I
balloons are my favourite.
wolf
where
buffed
they
an
just-
arty on accident one time, and I was like, whoa!
My favourite's wolf buff balloons because they just insta kill commanders. Even if you've got like 2 balloons, you can just snipe a commander in a few seconds. It's ridiculous.
Leon going for some early game tricks every time, just kind of keeping Tando Draco on his toes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they haven't done this the last few games. Ooh, that's a bold sell, but luckily Leon didn't see it. Yeah, last few games they've been going really heavy eco, expanding. I mean, last game, Tandorko went up to 11 farms before he put his first warren down. This time he's put down 3 warrens before his 8th farm. Did I change the title? Yes, I did. I also don't know if we're actually doing 3rd place today, either. I'd like to since we're already here. think it's between Cavernous and Snake.
Now, I would advise caution here for which expansion Ziggy takes. I think he should take the one farther from Tando Draco, because the reinforcement path is actually quite awkward if he takes the forward mill. He's gonna do it.
Why is there not a beginner chat? There's a Premier chat. Man, Premier gets all the fucking bonus. Premier gets everything. I'll ask Snake and Cavernous if they want to do third. Oh, do you have your replays? Okay, sorry, I just had to go out. Pandorko way down in army. And Leon way up in tempo with the Skunk Toad. Like shredding all this tier 1 that Tandorko's trying to build. Getting the forward mill. I think this might be GG. I mean, we've said that before,
Tando Draco stayed on tier 1 for a long time, but he didn't get the engages he was hoping for.
Yeah, I can see just from the graph, even though I was typing out, he clearly, like, he seems to have gone in and just completely lost it. I imagine there were some good toad hits from Leon.
I mean, Leon should be in the driver's seat here.
Yeah, it's hard for Leon to lose this now that he's got the skunks up. He could overextend here. He is losing one skunk at the very least. But Leon's now also several farms ahead. And fallowing is going to happen in the next 40 seconds, so... Let's get to third place games.
Oh, one skunk does go down.
I mean, Tandorko is actually doing fairly well. Leon just hasn't finished him off.
I think at the end of the day, these 3 farms are just going to be too much economy for Tando to handle.
If Tandorko was able to ever get a mill up, or if he's able to pick off this mill, but it looks like he just doesn't have enough to do it. His toads also go straight into the mill, which, I mean, you don't really want to do unless you're using it to kill him. Alright, this should be the game-winning push. And that takes us to... what is it? That's not quite game 7. That is 3-2. Leon's got a bit of momentum back though. If he was having a bit of confidence issues, then
now Tando Draco has been winning games with this deck, but they weren't pretty, and in fact he was oftentimes on the back foot because he didn't tech into Falcons, and he didn't really utilize that window when Skunk Snake is the strongest and needs to deny Mass Falcon. Like, a person can't just tech into Falcon and survive mid game against someone that has snakes. That should be punishable. Like, you should take a deficit. Like, if I go Skunk Falcon you should. My opponent should. If my opponent has Skunk Snake, they should either do damage in a push, or they should have higher eco on me because I had to tech really fast to get my Falcons out.
I kind of agree. Falcons are so weak to tier 1 that you're probably always in a good position to push if your opponent's going for Falcon.
Oh, this is bad. This is bad. This is bad. This is going to be a really good.
This is a big rush.
4 farm double.
4
Granted, the 3 pigs on the corner are going to be built.
Mm.
So Ziggy or Leon needs to make sure that he hits the pig when it's on the corner. Hopefully he watched the VOD for his game versus Snake and makes the adjustment that we recommended.
And Tandorko's supply blocked as well on his squirrels.
That's the corner. He's doing it right.
Corner, and the corner pig is right at the furthest point. That one lizard does get picked off, but I mean, he can go back in again, yeah. 3, 4, 5 lizards, he can go straight back in. I mean, probably not now that he's gone all the way back, and Tandorko is going to be at 4 squirrels. Maybe go in.
Tandorko blocked his yeah. I mean, Leon's not going to go, but he could have absolutely gotten more value.
He could have gone in. I mean, you've done it to me where the squirrels are out, but they just can't kill the lizards fast enough, so they still get a pig.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean,
at least he made the adjustment and killed the pig properly.
Yeah,
so.
Tandorko is getting up to 8 farms though first, so I think not the perfect rush. Some value is gained. But
yeah, the second pig would have been really nice.
Yeah,
but
you can't really say Leon's behind. I mean, Tandorko has had to spend an extra 60 food. I mean, Leon should take this fight. Squirrel's not on behind Warrens. Oh, here comes the toad though.
Do you have the Cavernous Snake zip file? Because they sent it to me.
They were on the replay folder. I just forgot to check it. I mean, it didn't even occur to me, frankly. But yeah, I've got them now. I mean, we should have really done them first. I could have, like, rather than take the hour off, I could have just spent that hour doing the 3rd place games, but c'est la vie. Feels weird doing the 3rd place games after the 1st place games, but it's not.
It'll be a nice cooldown.
Yeah, I suppose. Okay, so Leon has actually got ahead on Eco right now. Going for
this high ground is pretty nice.
Yeah, but I mean, Tandorko has so much tier 1 right now that as Leon goes for this tier 2, I'm pretty sure he's just going to be able to push in and get devastating damage.
Here we go. Is this going to be the game-winning push to decide the championship?
Oh, this toad hits are going to be brutal. Actually, not that bad. And the commander goes down, so he can't focus fire. This might have just given the win to Leon. Like, look at that army graph. Holy crap. It just plummets. From, like, the top of the graph to the bottom. That is a sight. And now Leon's got skunks on the way to help deal with this mass squirrel comp that Tandorko's got going. And Tandorko's just going for more and more tier 1. He's got a fairly respectable eco.
Oh, now those were better.
Yeah, but they weren't on the lizards. And the lizards... Leon
I think Tandorko's fine. I think Tandorko holds that. Yeah, he does.
He does hold, yeah. Leon did well splitting his army up there to get the lizards to come in at the side. Yeah, I mean, with a smaller army, Leon Tandorko manages to hold. But he is still a couple of farms behind on eco.
He's more than a couple. He is very behind now.
Now that we've hit the fallow... Yeah, we just hit the fallow point. And Leon has slammed down extra farms. Tandorco trying
Leon
to
might
come
not
around
be able to
again.
push in, but neither can Tando Draco.
Those are some good hits. But the skunks just deal with Mass Squirrel so efficiently. Like, Tandorco really needs to get either maybe his own skunks or some snakes. He needs some tier 2. Like, the problem with snakes is the lizards, but I think you should be able to deal with them. If you just get good toad hits, that won't be a problem. But now he's not got the eco for it. We need to sell down a lot to get his eco back up. And, I mean, this isn't looking good for Tandorco. It's pretty hard to see how he comes back from here. Maybe he can get up a balloon. If he got up a balloon on this little plateau next to his base, he could actually be quite annoying.
Yeah, Tando Draco just stayed on tier 1 for too long again.
It seems to be... Yeah, it seems to be a problem with him. He just keeps sticking with the tier 1. He doesn't tech up. Okay, the toads all go into... I mean, the toads actually trade evenly there with the lizards, so... It's not like the lizards even, like, did badly. They just run straight in. So that's good enough at this point.
It looks like we're going to go to a game 7.
Yeah. Alright, Leon on a bit of a hot streak at the moment.
Take Falcons, Tando Draco.
And keep sticking with this deck, and it keeps... I think at this point you might want to change something up. At least change up the way you play it. I mean, it's not a bad
strong
deck, but
it's
he's
very
not...
strong.
But he's not... It is a
not
strong
taking it
deck,
to
but
its
there are
max
other strong
potential,
decks
that's
in
for
the
sure.
game. And if you're not going to go up on tier 2, then you might be better off like getting rid of one of the tier 2 so you can put in lizards and have a more powerful early game. Or perhaps need have some extra defensive structures so you have an easier time ticking up. I mean, there's not much Ziggy does to, say, machine guns or wire. Alright, so map-wise it's actually pretty even, maybe a bit Leon favoured. But 2 easy mills for Tandorco. This mill probably goes to him as well. Bit out of the way.
I'm surprised we don't see wolf decks more often, like the one Ziggy's running, because it's perfectly fine. I don't even see a blatant issue with it.
Yeah, I know. It's just most people, if they're going to take only one tier 3, they prefer tier 3s other than Wolf that can sort of win the game by themselves. And if you are going to take Wolf, then I know I at least always just want to take another tier 3 with it to have the like super high roll potential. But I mean, Wolf decks have been a thing before. There's no reason why they shouldn't be. I'm actually not entirely sure why they aren't.
Maybe it's because Boar's so strong right now. Maybe that's why it died out of fashion.
Yeah, Boar...
Because wolf buffing tier 2 that just gets obliterated by a Boar bomb.
Yeah, anything that does AoE is pretty good against Wolf deck because Wolf can't help with the health. And this is a strong push from Leon.
Oh my god! And Tando Draco, he built another one!
Yeah, that was a major mistake by Tandorco. He just gifted Leon an extra 60 food. Like, that would have been an even trade. Might have even been favourable for Tandorco, given that he got so many units. But now,
Oh no!
he's got the potential to just get stormed over. He does have the skunks, who will help.
I mean, he can defend, but he can't push.
Yeah, he can't counter.
Look, thank goodness his expansion is nice and tucked in.
And at least he
Should be
does
able to
have...
defend behind it.
Yeah, and he has gone up to tier 2.
Like, usually the danger here is Ziggy attacks from 2 angles with a multi-pronged attack with the lizards and the squirrels. Your Toad Gas just can't take care of both unit groups, and you end up getting dusted. But if I'm Tando Draco, I hunker down, I get some toads, and I eco really hard and try to stabilize. Don't push in, you don't need to.
I mean, with the toads, if he gets good toad hits on the lizards, he could push in. He could get some snowball going. Since Ziggy only has 1 skunk out yet, and before he didn't even have any.
I don't feel there's a need to take an open engage here. Right? You're putting yourself at risk.
Okay, he's going back.
When you don't have to.
A lot of floating food for Ziggy. He spends it on snakes and skunks. I mean, I do like that Ziggy's willing to sell tier 1. He seems to be more willing to sell than Tandorko. Now Tandorko.
I mean, now if you look at the army graphs, they're equal. Like Tando Draco.
Okay, Tandorko has sold. He's printed his own snakes down. He sold the farm as well, which is maybe the wrong choice.
Huh. I wonder if the 4 skunks are better than the 2 and army in compensation. I don't know which deck is necessarily better here. I imagine the 4 skunks do better.
4 skunks do better than what?
Than 2 skunks and more tier 1.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
Oh, is this gonna be it?
Tandorko can't kite here. He needs to...
The push to decide the championship.
It could be. Okay, both players taking a bit of few grazes. The snakes are out for Tandorko. Okay, Leon's gonna retreat. I imagine both players are probably feeling pretty nervous at this point. Oh, huge
beautiful
toads! But look at this skunk gas. And good focus firing with the snakes to pick off the tier 2.
Yeah, Tando Draco just took a bit of a bigger hit on the retreat.
Yeah.
I think he should have stuck it.
Well, he needed to get his... He didn't focus fire with his snakes.
And now he's behind on
Leon
eco.
did.
So this is actually concerning.
Yeah,
he's
he's
2 farms down. 1 farm down once this builds.
Is he? No, he's even. And Ziggy has spent food on
I
an
thought I
extra
saw
meal
4.
for some reason.
Alright, they're equal on army, but Ziggy has a bit more tech. Or will. Gonna get some poking done with the snakes, maybe? Doesn't look like it. Both of them on 80 food. Not anymore. This is really close.
Someone needs to eco up. Sell a tier 1 Warren. Slam it into farms. You should be able to hold. I mean, if you're Tando Draco, selling a Squirrel Warren should be fine. Or a Toad Warren should be fine.
I imagine the nerves are pretty high right now.
Yeah, you're against 4 skunks anyway. But yeah, both of these players are probably pretty nervous.
I mean, those toads have got to be good. They have to be good. They have to be good here, right?
Yeah, but there's only 3 lizards for Ziggy. There's 4 skunks as well, so the toads, like, they don't have a lot of time to get into position. I think the farms are more useful. Okay,
I like this switch out of Tando Draco.
Leon putting...
And Ziggy's going to build more tier 2, so this is actually going to be good for Tando Draco because he's going to get that economy lead. And quite frankly, in this low unit count, snakes are actually pretty good.
Yeah, 4 snakes
I'm not sure if Falcons are
but
quite
he's so supply
justified yet.
Okay, good. Finally he sells.
The armies are so small. What did he... Oh my goodness.
Leon putting his
Man
farms
selling
back
it
on
all.
this. Oh,
The onus is now on Ziggy to push. If Leon does not push,
I mean,
Tando Draco's going to get a definitive
only one
leader.
farm behind because he's got this back mill, and
That's
obviously
true.
paying for the
That's
60 food to get that mill up is a bit of a cost.
I thought
in
Tando
itself,
Draco
but-
was going to buy another expansion, but he didn't.
Yeah, so did I think he wanted to, but the 60 food got spent on the snake.
I imagine Tender Draco's gonna push once this 4th snake pops.
Maybe, but he shouldn't be retreating like this.
These are some good. I mean, these are.
Okay,
It's good
now
so
this
far.
is a good choke point, but he just leaves his skunk there. Why did he leave his skunks there? How did he even leave his skunk
Push
there?
is now gonna be skunkless. That's not where he wants to be. It looks like he's gonna have to go back home.
Yeah, that's a pretty major blunder. I think it'd be worth it for Tendorko to get up a balloon and just put an owl behind it.
Ziggy smelling blood in the water, slamming down some tier 1.
Tendorko wants to expand again. He's left his army out in the open though.
Oh, he's
this
not
is
home
so
defend!
bad. Oh, this is going to take... And again, he splits his army up. And there's no way okay, these toads get onto the skunks, but don't do great, and there's nothing that can hit these falcons anymore. The snake is going to die, the skunk is going to die. I mean,
Everything's
it's
at low health.
honestly not terrible. It's pretty even.
Oh, he
But,
holds,
I
but
mean,
that was
that
lucky.
was such a... He didn't... And there was no reason for him to take such a bad fight there. And this is...
buy
Why
the
is he going back
expansion.
in? Why is he going in? He thinks that maybe he thinks that he's in a like all-in situation, but he was
No,
honestly
that's
doing
it right
fine.
there.
Yeah,
That's a blunder.
now he's dead. Like he's behind so far on tempo now because he's just lost another army.
Forced to sell tier 2. And now Ziggy has the tech lead. Not to mention he's going to be able to eco on this back mill.
And Tendorko never managed to get this third mill going. Okay, he sold something. He's trying to bring his army round. I mean, honestly, just hide him down here. Might be worth it. Okay, now is it his turn? No, he doesn't wait until... He didn't know that Tendorko, that Ziggy was out of the way, but if he'd waited until he saw the commander dot on his minimap, he could have had a good opportunity to, like, sneak in and just burst the mill down, but he takes the engagement. Leon's there to defend it, and that gives Leon the win at 4-3.
What a comeback out of Leon.
Yeah. Phew. Now, I don't know if we can even do an interview right now. I'll ask, you know, to be polite and thorough and all that.
As much as I would like to stick around, I am going to have to step out.
Fair enough.
But it was a pleasure casting with you.
You too. I will see
Alright,
you
take care.
some other time. Have fun. Okay, so I'll give Leon a quick shout. We are going to be doing third. Leon says he's down to do an interview.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
Hi. Congrats.
Yeah, no, that was close.
Mm.
I was sweating.
Yeah, we could feel the nerves in that last game.
We went back and forth a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, there's one thing I want to ask. In that... Oh, which game? I don't even remember which game it was. The game where you had those wolves and you lost 2 of them. And
Yeah,
you
that was
surrendered.
so paid awful.
Did you know that you were actually ahead when you surrendered?
What?
Yeah, we thought.
But he's Chico.
Yeah, but he had no army.
But I had no army.
You had considerably more than him. He was throwing away a lot of tier 2.
Shame. Oh, I guess it's just defeatism. I shouldn't do it.
Yeah. But well done all around. GG's Tendorko as well in the chat.
Oh yeah, of course. He got so much better over this tournament.
Yeah, that
Like
was.
at the start, I wasn't scared, but at the end there, oof.
I heard that you apparently 3-0'd him earlier on.
Yeah, he's got way better. He's caught up. like massively. Good on him. Very good skill level.
So, what about yourself? How have you found the journey?
Pretty decent. I got scared at the start, but honestly, it's pretty good.
Okay. I really don't have. I need a bigger list of questions to ask people when we get to interviews. But I mean, there's not much I can ask other than how have you found it.
Yeah.
Kippo's always interested to know how you found the format. If you think the meta has changed throughout the tournament at all.
See, the reason I picked Wolf is because I don't think chameleons are worth it because everyone chooses Snake nowadays.
Right.
So I just don't think I can get my worth off them. So that's why I picked. And for this tournament, for this like these final games, I basically just picked Squizzard for the first time ever, in terms of
Really?
like recently. Yes, so I was risking a lot trying to do it because my Squirrel wasn't working out. I played one game and I just got shredded with it. I played bad with my Squirrel, but it was difficult.
Oh, do you think you're ready for intermediate? In the
Probably, yeah.
future?
I'm beating a few intermediate players
Alright.
decently.
What about Tatanka, intermediate champ? How do you rate yourself?
I actually play him quite a lot, and I win 7% of the time, or around that.
7. Oh.
He beats me way too much for keeping my ego.
He basically is a premier player, though. So, well, he is now. But
Yeah, it's like Tonka's skill level curve is insane. Like, he's good. Yeah, it's not many questions, is there?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a tough tournament, and I mean, even after casting it, I always, like, my brain sort of fades into the background. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that I was thinking about asking you when in the tournament, when we were playing, and I'm sure that as I go to bed tonight, I'll think of another half a dozen thing, but...
I can give, like, a small commentary of what I thought was happening through the games if you want, just quickly.
Alright.
So, just generally, if you sort of just look back, the shorter maps I usually won on because I like being able to scout my opponent easily and then counter them fast. In a long, windy map, I suck
Right.
so much. So, yeah, that's why I'm doing a few games. My Scrobe game went really badly because I microed it awful, and Toads, and he played quite well with his Toads, and I just played bad with them. A lot of the ones I got for early rushes too, I think. Quick commentary, I guess. But, thanks for the interview.
No worries. I mean, one thing I did want to ask, did you notice that Tendorko was very, like, he was teching up pretty slowly, so you often had the tech advantage. Was that something you were actually conscious of?
Early on I realised he kept on teching up earlier than me, and I made an initiative to tech up before him, because I knew he sort of likes to build up slowly. So I sort of just changed my game plan halfway through.
Okay. It seemed like you were doing a good job of keeping him on tier 1.
I do like playing my opponent with tier 1 because I'm sort of better with that. Because when I get to many units, I struggle to switch units, and that sort of makes my micro fall apart.
Yeah.
So when I have like smaller units, I can easily do well.
Bit inflexible, that Tony. I think what really set you apart was just the honestly, it was a snake micro. I noticed that you were focus firing a lot more than he was when the fights happened. There was obviously some mistakes on everyone's side, but that's to be expected. But I think in general you had a better micro.
What I noticed was this generally did Tender Draco because like he sometimes won the fights but still left.
Yeah.
So that was massive for me. I was able to come back from that due to that.
There were a couple of times where he had the win but retreated.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit overly cautious as a rule.
Something I always do is focus snakes because I always realise that in a long-term fight they do so much damage, and once all the tier 1's gone, they're going to wreck your tier 2.
Yeah, if the snakes are the only survivor... I mean, snakes love being the sole survivors of a fight. because then you can just keep. They're like Fox in that they can just kill units as they come up, and if you don't have enough to burst them down, then they'll just destroy you. They'll just keep on killing units faster than you can build them, and you'll never be able to recover. Okay, so I'm going to do the third place games now between Snake and Cavernous. Do you have a prediction for that?
Oh, see, I'm really afraid of Cavernous, but Snake's been playing a lot better. I think Snake because Snake's been playing really well recently, but Cavernous, the last time I played him, he 3-0'd me, so he could really just wreck Snake for all I know. It's a toss-up.
Yeah, it is a bit close. I'm hoping for a close game, whichever situation. I believe it's also best of 7. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So
I'm sad. I have to go to bed now.
yeah, well, I should have gone to bed now, but you know, duty calls.
College be like.
Yeah, it's something I
I'll let you go.
forgot. You're like 10 years younger than me.
Oh yeah, I'm like 16,
Well
so I have college, and my parents, like, they can literally hear me tap. Like, they can hear my mouse tap, so they'll just come in and start beating me if I make too much noise.
You gotta beat them back.
Just start getting swords out.
That's how I did it.
Anyway.
Alright.
Yeah, I'll let you get on to your bronze games. I can't watch them, unfortunately, due to bed, but I'll sure to watch it. Yeah, later.
Right.
Thanks for streaming. It was great.
Congrats on your win, and have a good night.
Yeah, same.
Alright. As you might be able to tell, not the best interviewer, but congrats all the same. And congrats to Pandorko, because it's easy to forget that he did still come second. A silver medal is still pretty respectable. Right, now I need to know what side they're on before I sort out the scoreboard. So we got Cavernous versus Snake. Whereabouts in England? Birmingham. I should have asked Leon which part he was from. Like, his accent didn't give it away. No, I imagine he might be from the Midlands as well. He's very, what's it called? Austri accent? Austray? It's like some Middle English type of accent where they're not quite posh and they're not quite very middle class. They're definitely not northern. Didn't sound very Cockney. Or London. Didn't sound particularly... There wasn't a strong accent of any region. Which probably means that he's from somewhere in the Midlands. Or East Anglia. But that should have been a question I asked. Alright. So, current game. Squirrel Lizard, Falcon Cam, Boar Balloon against Squirrel Lizard, Falcon Skunk, Snake Mine. So, Cavernous nearly going with the tanker deck that's been so meta recently. Cavernous coming in with his lizards, taking a bad engagement. Lizards don't do well against the defender's advantage. The rural area, that doesn't narrow it down. Like, the UK has a ridiculous amount of countryside. It's just, its urban centres are very, very densely populated. But I'm not the best at listening to accents anyway. But there wasn't an obvious region I could pick out. Oh, see you, Tendorko. Good luck with the BBC. Okay, so Snake. Oh, Cavan taking a bad engagement here. Snake should be able to snowball from here with all these forward mills. Yeah, I barely talked about that game, but I mean the gist of it was Cavanus kept taking bad engagement with his lizards, and Snake was just able to eco up off the back of it. Alright, 1 point to Snake. Sorry, I'm a bit tired. I'm not exactly on top of my game tonight. I've already done 3 hours of casting. And it's now 11 o'clock. And I've got to resist the urge to stay up all night playing Loop Hero. I mean, I've done tireder streams. There have been streams where I've literally fallen asleep while casting. Oh, hello. 5-farm, double lizard. And Cavanus hasn't scouted it. Cavanus is off scouting the rest of the map. Oh, this is going to do huge damage. Okay. Cavanus sees it. You've got to get the scouts off on this, on small maps like this, especially now that rushes have become more popular. But is Snake going to go for the Warren? Oh, that's a big blunder. He should be picking off the corner pigs. He loses both of those lizards. And now... And he's also given Cavanus time. So that was, what, 3 lizards for a Warren? He's not going to get this pig. This rush has really backfired. Snake had the timing right, but he went for the Warren instead of the pig, and that just was exactly what Cavanus needed. No, it wasn't when Cavanus was playing. I forget who it was. It was like one of Gent's tourneys, and I was really drunk. I was not only drunk, but I was also exhausted. I'd like been awake for like 2 days straight, and I'd spent the last like 8 hours drinking. And I just literally fell asleep while watching them. My head went down, and I woke up because my headphones slid off and slammed on the table. Thank you for the offer, Yuseska, but no thanks. Okay. What did I miss while I was doing that? Cavanus, I can see, lost a bunch of army. Nice try, Trumpet. Huh. I just realised I've got to do a backstory in the PVC. When was the last time you saw sleepy Elon Musk? when he went on the Joe Rogan podcast. I think his eyes were looking a bit dopey then. Okay. Snake losing that farm here, but he's going to get a good engagement, clear up a lot of army. Or is he not? Actually, without, even though he gets in at the side, it's a nice round. Cavernous is going to win, and now Cavernous is 2 farms ahead. Snake needed to defend that farm or to sell it. You can't just run backwards against the toads. Eventually you are going to have to fight them. The toads do run faster. Okay, Snake getting out this tier 2. If he can get the snakes up, he'll be in a position where he can start holding better. Or he can counter push. He's got the 3 lizards. They're going to be his sacrifices to run straight into the toads. Hello, Javella. What's up? Ouch, 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 ouch. Okay, Snake has actually managed to catch up. He's getting his own snakes out, but he's actually going to push. Getting some skunk gas down. He needs to. Oh dear. These toad hits are going to be devastating. All of the squirrels blow up. Still, pretty decent mine hits. But this mill is a goner. Is it? It took a lot of squirrel damage as well as the fight. Okay, it's still alive, but it's not going to be for long. Now it's a goner. And that's probably GG. I say probably because I've seen some incredible throws in my time, but that is pretty much what Snake is relying on at this point. He's relying on Cavernous passing out on his keyboard, or running his entire army into the wall on the opposite side of the map for 5 minutes straight. There's not much that Snake himself can do. Do we fast forward? Maybe we go for a bit of a ×2, because I am very sleepy and Snake is very dead. I mean, look at that army difference. Okay, he's got a choke point with the mines. Still, the choke point favours the skunks as much as any. And Snake just doesn't have the units. I mean, Cavernous can afford to take bad trades here. Snake can't rebuild at all. He's completely out of economy. And that is a point for Cavernous. We are now 1-1. I mean, yeah, it was a good fight. He traded well, but he couldn't afford to trade. He needed to, like, take. At that stage in the game, any trade is a bad trade. Alright, so same deck, I think, from Cavernous. Squirrel, Toad, Falcon, Skunk, Snake, Boar against Snake. Squirrel, Lizard, Falcon, Skunk, Snake, Mine. I think this is the same deck from him as well. And from them. Since I don't explicitly know his gender. I just called him his again. Whatever. It's not that big a deal. Plus, Archimedes is a man. When in doubt, go with the commander. quick expansion for Cavernous with a tier 1 behind it. Snake's got a very defendable second mill, but he's gonna have a hard time getting to a third. He could actually come out here. Is that easier or harder for him? It's hard for him to defend this side of the map as well as this side of the map. So he's gonna have to keep his army in the middle, or hard commit to one side. And both of those leave him quite open to attacks if Cavernous is intelligent. Which maybe is a bit of an ask, but... Okay. That lizard blows up on one pig, doesn't even kill it. And is Snake going to hold here without losing anything? He might. He is. Oh, well done from Snake. That's a good hold. Don't you have to go to bed, Leon? Well, howdy anyway. By the way, since we got you here, what part of England you from? Like, I got asked that as soon as you left, and I couldn't say. There wasn't a particularly strong accent. Estuary, that's what I was thinking of. But estuary's from everywhere. I was going to go either West Midlands or East Anglia because I couldn't hear a particularly northern, particularly London or particularly West Country accent from it. Yeah. Cornwall. Really? That's not what I would have guessed. I mean, you don't sound particularly Cornish. Anyway, Cavernous has taken a huge win here, getting the... He's killed Snake's entire mill. His counterattack by Snake is pretty devastating, but I don't know how far he's going to be able to push it. Although, Cavernous is still only on one base, he is expanding here, but... when did Snake lose this? I've got some friends who live in Cornwall, and around Plymouth. They have some very thick accents, but only after they've been there. It's like they come back, they go there occasionally to visit their roots, and when they come back they have like a really thick accent. Okay, Snake is unable to get his mill going. He's unable to engage as long as Cavernous has these toads, but there's only 3 toads. 3 toads aren't going to blow up 9 lizards. Snake could just move in. And he needs to find an angle. Snake, you need to have your units closer. Okay, those toads blow up. Okay, you've got to send your lizards in now, but it's through a tiny choke point. It's a definite win, but I don't think it's a sort of decisive victory. Snake needs to make a comeback. Maybe it is, actually. No, if he kept pushing. Yeah, Snake could have kept pushing there. God damn it, Snake. You need to attack. You're desperate. You don't have any eco. Okay, well maybe you can sell those mines. I don't think Snake is playing this quite right, but he's still somehow in this game. Now that Cavernous has 6 toads, he's much more of a threat though. More London accent. I mean, I didn't hear it, but I'm not great with accents anyway. And it was through kind of a shitty mic. Snake needs to either go on and run around with his lizards, or... I mean, I think he needs to do that anyway. Put a couple of mines here. Sell these mines. They're not doing anything anymore. Stick them here. Take your lizards round and bring them up here to start picking off some warrens. Although I don't actually think he'd be able to sneak them in, would he? But he might be able to come up here and pick off a farm if he's really cheeky. Well, Snake is still alive. He's managed to reach the magic 8 farm number, but Cavernous is just going to be ahead on army and getting further and further ahead. Honestly, I'd like to see a tier 3 from Cavernous. There we go. And I'd like to see Snake sell a Lizard Warren so he could tech up. Because he needs to be taking some risks at this stage. That toad, that mine did its job. It killed a toad. That's 20 food for 20 food. Okay, Snake needs to be prepared here. Cavernous is clearly thinking about coming in. He sells a mine. I don't think that was... I don't think he needed to. He could have just moved his squirrels forward. They would have started shooting the commander. If Cavernous stayed there long enough, he would have died. Now, Snake needs to get this scout off. Because he needs... No! That's not a scout! Why are you running away from the pigs? You need to scout deep into enemy territory, especially this late in the game. This boar should just win. Snake is just... Snake hasn't really done much for the last, like, 5 minutes. Okay, the boar's up. Cavernous has a huge amount of farms down. Snake is going to see the boar there. He wants to keep his army spread out. Okay, Cavernous takes a huge amount of mines hit. These lizards get on the boar. And the boar actually dies with pretty good value. Now Snake, this time you've got to counterattack. Okay, keep those toads, keep those skunks alive. Why is his lizards over there? I don't know how they thought that was the right place to go. Okay, Cavernous going for another boar. Sells down. Snake needs to keep the pressure on. But with the Snake he can do that. He should be really going for farms rather than the mill. Because there's no way he gets the 10 or 11 shots necessary. And he still hasn't got a scout, so he doesn't know what's going on here. We've only got one skunk at the moment. That's not really enough to take on this amount of tier 1. And losing those... That army loss is going to set him really far back. I mean, what did so much work for Snake last boar attack was the fact that he had all these mines down, which just blew up the toads. There are no mines anymore, and he only has one snake. There's only one skunk as well, and the skunks aren't even that helpful here. Straight into the mill. This could still give Snake a chance to counterattack. Snake has had a lot of chances to counterattack, but he's just not taken any of them. But I don't think he has. He's not even really focus fired particularly well on that boar. Okay, the boar goes down, it takes a mill with it, and a pig. Snake needs to be selling something. I think he sold the Snake Warren. But Caminus is just so far ahead economically that he can just resupply his army where Snake can't. And with his third expansion down, that's going to be GG. And Snake finally throws in the towel. 2-1 to Caminus. These games are... Was it blown up? Ah, I didn't see it. Okay, so we got the same decks actually from both players. My nose is hurting. I need a shower. Okay, very Caminus favoured map here. Look at all these nice lovely mills he's got. I mean, Snake can't even take this one. Snake is basically completely blocked off. He has to come down here, or he has to come all the way through this water and narrow pathways. Like, Caminus can just be so greedy here. Oh no, there was a full stop between them. My nose is sore. Full stop. I need a shower. Besides, I can steam out... It will help a bit. I can steam out my nostrils. Clear the sinuses. Okay. So, Caminus should just be going nuts on farms here because, I mean... It takes forever to Snake to get here, and one Toad one could probably hold quite a lot. Snake is leaving his lizards out. He has got a mine set up, but Lizard should win 3v3. Don't know if I favour this attack. He does have the army for it. Okay, go for the... Oh, but the Toad comes out just in time. And the reinforcement distance for Snake is ridiculous. Away from here. Spawn here, run down here, over the water, turn the corner, and another 100-meter sprint. This is such a bad map for Snake. If I was Snake, I'd even consider trying to take this mill. Like just running all the way around and taking this mill as a ninja expansion. I mean, the other thing Snake could do is go for some sort of tier 3 rush, but he doesn't have any tier 3, so you'd be looking at mass tier 2 instead. Okay, bringing his lizards around the side. This is nice. But he's going to run into 2 Toads here. Still, he's going to get some farms. 1, 2, okay, 3, 4. Doesn't get the last one, but he's still in profit. 4 farms for 9 lizards is worth it. It's not actually a huge win. but it is significant. These farms were gonna... Some of these farms were gonna fallow soon anyway. Okay, this time Cavernous saw it. We should be rallying his units back. And he does. Does Snake know there's a way up here he could go? This is not the mill he should be taking. He should be taking this mill. The lizards find their own way. Life finds a way. This mill, there's no way it stays hidden. This mill, there's no reason for Cavernous to ever scout up there. You can distract him by keeping your army down here. Plus, if he ever does move his army up there, you've got such a good moment to attack him. I'm very perplexed as to why Snake took this. And there is a boar on the front lines. Cavernous has a huge army advantage. Sorry, Snake has a huge army advantage. But these are going to be big toe hits. Here come the lizards. If Snake can just push over here, get this mill, get the boar warren behind it. There's a load of falcons coming up for Cavernous. But a lot of the warrens are right here. If Snake can just push past this position. But he just can't. He's going to give it another go. And now he's got the Snake, which is much better at taking down this mill. That mill should die, yes. But now Cavernous has the boar up and ready to go. And Snake, once again... Oh no, Snake has seen it this time. Okay, if Snake brings his army over here, he can maybe start going for a base race. He hasn't brought his army. He's brought his commander, and no army. He needs to do something, like burrow back. Okay, his army is actually holding fairly well. He does go for the base race, but, I mean, he's only going to get an empty mill. But, I mean, he holds... Well, no, he doesn't hold here, actually. Like, this is not what holding looks like. If his commander was there to focus fire the Falcons, he would have held. He could have just burrowed back, and he probably would have made it. So now Snake is going in for one last hurrah. He probably should have come around this way, because now he's just walking through the water and up a hill through a narrow choke point, which is all the things that toads love to do. Cavernous now up at 3-1. Snake is really going to have to turn this around. Cavernous is on match point. Okay, no changes from either player. Snake sticking with this deck. I really don't think he should be. He needs some tier 3, and the lizards have not really got much done because Cavernous is using his toads well. Plus he's got the skunks to take into and the boar. What would I go for if I was Snake and I'd run into this deck? Definitely keep the squirrels. Own Snake. Possibly a fox, because you've seen no... Yeah, you've seen no defensive structures. Loads of tier 2. A balloon. That's good for tier 2 and good for boar, because the boar can't hit it. Definitely keep the skunks. Skunk, falcon, snake. Honestly, if you just take out the lizards for a fox, you might be in a perfect position. Anyway, Snake started with a double warrant there, but there's too many campfires in the way for Cavernous. Like, there's just a line of campfires here. Although, he could have actually gone this way round. I don't know if he knew that at the time. He brought his Warrens down here, but if he put them up here, then he could have just brought them round here and got in. And it was a rush that would have worked because Cavernous hadn't scouted it. Okay, Snake going for an expansion plus Squirrel Skunk. My tongue is low on stamina. Snake staying a bit even on eco. A bit slow, but he's not too far behind. And he has got the higher tech. Okay, neither player really looking to attack right now. And I can see why. Packing on this base, on this map, is kind of an ache. You've got 2 easy expansions for both players. You have to burst through these campfires and give your opponent pre-warning. Or you have to come to these tiny choke points, so why bother? Just build up. Now, this sort of map definitely favours a player with tier 3, which would be Cavernous right here. But Boar isn't great against tier 2s, so if Snake just keeps pumping out tier 2 after tier 2, then he should be able to outscale the Boar. He gets the scout off this time. That's good. That was a good scout there by Snake. Now he should sell down on tier 1, put it all into eco and tier 2s. He's putting down a lot of mines. I don't know if he really needs that many. No, James Bowring is streaming as well. I'll give one of them a host. Probably Tandorko. As, you know, a consolation prize. This is so many mines. Probably too many mines. I mean, this is now 18 times 20, nearly 400 food, 360 food. That's not really doing anything, although 4 of them do get 1 skunk. Cavernous' Boar is way behind the rest of the army. Okay, that Boar should die. It's gonna get in and do a Boar bomb. Oh my god, Snake had to come back in and finish it off because it was at 7 HP. That's a pain. We needed 1 extra tag, 1 extra hit. And now Snake has let his army run really far ahead of his falcons. The Cavernous is definitely in the lead, with a 3rd base fully saturated, plus a campfire. Like, a very significant eco lead. Like, Snake is just not ever... In all of these games, Snake isn't ecoing up as well as his opponent. He needs to sell down on Warrens to eco up more. This is the 3rd place of the beginners finals. Game 4. It's currently 3-1 to Cavernous. Perhaps match point. These mines don't, they're like, all of these mines don't really even accomplish that much. You want them in straight lines like this, where the units will keep walking on them. If you have them in the lines like that, where they're all horizontal, then one unit can set off all of them at once, and the mines actually trade down. Okay, Snake coming in. Snake is going to burst down this mill before... Sorry, Cavernous is going to burst down this mill before Snake even knows what's hit him. Snake is over there. He needs to burrow back. I mean, Cavernous' commander went down, but it didn't even matter because, I mean, that just... Cavernous' commander was there for longer than Snake's commander was there. And now, all of these Warrens are going to die. Snake is so far behind on eco. If he doesn't win with this army, he won't win. It's feasible he could win. He could come in and pick off this mill, certainly. Okay. Going for the unprotected one, but that does leave him... He can't go for a base race. He needs to get a mill going quick. Take this mill, take this mill, take this mill. He's not. He's going to try and come back. Is this the right move? He is getting a good trade here. Okay. Snake might be able to do this. He's still got a significant army advantage. He needs to attack. If he can pick off this mill, then suddenly he's in the lead again. Kill the Falcons. Just focus the Falcons down. I think Snake might actually be about to do this. Is that mill dead? No, get in. Get in and destroy it. And then destroy his campfire while you're here, because it takes like 2 shots from a Snake. Okay, Cavernous is now going for the base race. Go on, Snake! No, you could win this! Oh my god, Snake! You could at least put him in starvation. Okay. Cavernous trying to just send the toads in. He might get this mill. I don't think he does. Oh, not quite. Okay, this looks like GG. Cavernous down to 1 campfire, and somehow Snake pulls it out. I am pretty surprised that Snake managed to pull that back. He still needs to do it twice more, though. But Leon was able to make a 3-1 comeback. Maybe Snake will do the same. Well, for some reason we're staring at the bomb corner. No, I'm not doing the American PVC. The American PVC is happening now. I'm not doing it. I am finishing these replays and then I'm going to bed. This is the same game. Okay, Squirrel Falcon, Skunk Owl Wolf Balloon against Squirrel Lizard Falcon, Skunk, Snake, Mine. So Caminus finally mixing up his deck, taking double tier 3. No toads this time, which will let Snake get a lot more done with the lizards in the early game, at least. Map-wise, I mean, Caminus has a nice map to go double tier 3 on. You can take, like, this mill, put up a balloon, defend here. Then not only does he have all of these mills to go with, but he can hide all the tier 3 back here. Oh, I'm so grimy right now. Okay. Snake going straight for the skunks. But Snake is also supply block because he's gone for tier 2 triple farm. I mean, honestly, I think it's fine. Like, there's so much space on this map. You can be so greedy. He sells. Why? Sells and goes for 4 lizards. Like a complete reversal. Is it so he can rush the balloon? I mean, he might be able to attack. Snake, Caminus sells the balloon, puts down his own tier 1. But Snake still has a massive tempo advantage. He gets up to 6 lizards, he can just start pushing. He has 6 lizards. He should at least be rallying his lizards over here, so they're all together. What is Snake trying to accomplish here by taking that mill? Okay, he jumps in, but I think he's delayed too long. He's going to get a pig, at least. Oh, he's going to get 2 pigs. Alright. Okay. Not too shabby. He's only 1 farm ahead now, but he is ahead. He's going to rely on the mines to help him defend. While he takes into skunks. Good luck. Good luck, Lucas. Seriously. Sorry you couldn't play the PVC. I'm sure you would have enjoyed it. It was a good one. Hope whatever weird shit is going on in your life works out. Fucking face! God damn it! It's so itchy. It's like it's got fur stuck to it. I feel like I've been tarred and feathered. Snake coming in with a decent skunk push, but all of his lizards running to this choke point. And now the balloon's up to take care of the skunks. I mean, Snake has got a nice mine line. He's actually got quite a bit of map control here. He's secured himself a 4th base and a campfire. doesn't have any tier 3. I think it's a really big weakness of Snake's deck to not have any tier 3 in a meta where a lot of people like to spam owls. Case in point. I'll try and do a stream tomorrow. Oh no, I'm doing a co-cast with Tiki tomorrow. So I won't be streaming. Hopefully, I don't think it'll be too late. Hope it's not. Because I'd have to cancel. I can't do a drunk co-cast at like 1 in the morning. Like, I'm not risking the job interview. And that. Not after all the lengths I've been searching. Especially since it's quite a nice job as well. Anyway, enough about me. We got Wolf coming up with 2 owls. Snake, I don't know how he holds against this. Other than... Well, I mean, he's got 4 skunks, 4 falcons, but he needs more. He's got a good eco as well. Decent, at least. I'm guessing he hasn't scouted it. No, he hasn't. In all fairness, it's pretty tough to scout here, thanks to the balloons. Balloons, squirrels and pigs all shooting him at the same time means that Snake's commander is pretty much insta-dead. Okay, these mines are not going to accomplish much. It's 3 units, take them out. Snake thinking of attacking. Snake needs to get more. He's going up to 8 falcons. That's a good number. But I'd like to see another skunk warren. Especially since Cavernous is getting 4 owls. Going up to 10 falcons. I mean, the falcons are good. I think he needs some skunks to deal with the ground forces though. But this might work. He's got a good tempo advantage here. He's killed all the mice. Get the balloons. Gain the warrens. Okay. Good work, good work. Okay, that's a pretty good engagement for Snake. He has to pull back. Doesn't want to overextend. Cavernous forced to sell one of his owl warrens. So now he's only on 3. I mean, Snake wasn't able to get catastrophic damage done, but getting the defensive structures is actually pretty important. They're hard to replace. But Snake, I think he's just bleeding out too much tier 1 right here. You want to sell the tier 1 a lot of the time when you're against owls. And the snakes as well aren't really doing much. And it looks like Cavernous has completely flipped the momentum. Like, Snake was just not able to rebuild. At least not quickly enough. And now, yep, Cavernous just snowballs from there. And that takes it to 4-2. Alright, GG Cavernous. Good effort by Snake. But unfortunately, it was not to be. Now, I am very tired. My old buddy QQ just started streaming. Oh, he's not streaming Tooth and Tail though. Darn. I would have totally given him a host. Okay, Tandorka has 9. James has 1. So we'll give the host to James. You say hi, everybody. I'm sorry if it wasn't the best job, but congrats to Cavernous on 3rd place. Shit, did you want to do an interview? Whoops. Bit late. Do you want to do an interview, Cavernous? We can do an interview. I can cancel this. But it won't be a long one. I'm kind of out of it right now. Okay. Sure, do not have to. I mean, does that mean yes or no? Okay. Let's just get it done.
Hello.
Hey, Cavernous.
Well, that was done.
Yeah.
I was definitely happy to do that. Get that win. I'm pretty mad at myself when I lost to Tandor. He's my brother, and I've always wanted to beat him. I mean, I've always been better than him, and it's kind of been a big goal to be better than him. So I was glad to at least take third.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good position.
Yeah. I honestly, when I lost to Tandor, I got really burned out, and so I hadn't played much. So when I rewatched those games, there was a lot of decisions where I'm like, okay, that was a bad engage. But I guess that's always. But I did feel like I was still working on getting back into it. But thankfully, I was able to pull it through.
I mean, shit, what happened in any of those games? Sorry, this is always what I'm like. As soon as the games stop happening, I forget everything about them.
Well, if I wasn't watching log, I probably would have been just in your location. What was really funny about those games was Snake has been playing a contain deck. He has Mine, Bloon, Drumfire deck.
Yeah.
I played him a bunch of times a while ago, and I was really having struggling playing against it. And so I thought, like, first 4 or 5 games, I thought he was playing that deck because I kept seeing the mines go down early. So I kept being super aggressive. I'm almost never like an early aggression player, but I did because I was worried that it was going to contain me. So that was funny that it worked out. I was able to get some good damage, but that wasn't what I was expecting.
Yeah.
By game 4, I was like, oh, he's just playing a normal deck.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was weird how inflexible Snake was with his deck, given that it wasn't working.
Yeah, in the beginner league, a lot of people switch between either being very one-decked, really working on a deck, or switching between decks a lot. Like this, I usually switch between decks a lot more, but because I was trying to get back into it, I was kind of the Tatanka deck had been working really well, so I just stuck with that for 4 games, and then it didn't work, so I switched out. But generally, I switch out like every game to keep people guessing.
I mean,
but my head wasn't quite in it, so I was like, okay, well, this one's working, and this
I
one's
don't think
working.
there's any reason to change if your deck is working. You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's just odd that Snake. I mean, his deck wasn't working, and yet he still didn't fix it.
Yeah. Yeah. That third game, he got up enough. 4th game? Yeah, game 4.
Yeah, it was.
No, game 5.
It was the one where. Which one was it where you lost like 2 boars and you were really far ahead, but he just had the army at the end?
Yeah, that was game 5. I felt like I was in a good spot economically.
Yeah, you were.
But I just never got enough tier 2 to deal with all his snakes, and my board just kept going down.
Well,
and that's
tier
when his
2
deck
isn't
was
what you
working
want
out
against snakes. Snakes are good against tier 2s. You want tier
well.
1
Falcons.
For them. Falcons, yeah,
Would
fair
have
enough.
been. If I had got more Falcons, I would have been at a better spot. But yeah, my board kept going down, so that's why I switched, because he kept having so much snakes. I was like, well, owls will do good against snakes.
Well, yeah, they would.
So, and since I knew he wasn't playing a contain deck, I knew I can kind of turtle up a little bit more and then pop out with some owls, and so that ended up being a very good switch. So,
well, I mean, that one game aside, it was a pretty dominant performance, really.
yeah, thank you.
Think you can
I
be
really,
pretty proud.
for quite a while, yeah, he was playing well, but I feel like he was a little off his game. I feel like he's played better in the past, but
Yeah,
he did
I
fine.
think he's played better as well. I really think that it was a big lack of adjustment, and there were quite a few moments where he could have pushed in, where like he had a good hold. You attacked him, he held well, and then he never pushed in. And there was quite a few games where he was. I think it was like the first or second game. You were like pretty far ahead, but he managed to get a good hold or two.
Hey guys.
And he never really like did anything to catch up. He didn't take any like big risks like sell a Warren to go big eco or try and tech up.
Yeah,
I think that's what
I
let him
think
down.
he might have partly been thrown off because I'm almost never that aggressive. I was super aggressive that game. Like I kept him from getting his expansion, and so he probably was like, "What is Kremer's doing?" Because he's played me before, but I figured that he was trying to get some buildings up and then econ behind it, so I didn't want to let him do that. So I kept pushing, and then he never quite was confident enough to push in or do something because he definitely never got an expansion up, and I did. So when my boar went in and those mines like wiped almost my entire army except for the boar, and then the lizards killed the boar. That I got really scared for a second. 'cause
Yeah,
that
I mean,
boar was-
he should have like that was one of the moments I was thinking about where he definitely had an opportunity there to counterattack and possibly pull the game back if he got.
well,
like,
actually,
but-
if I remember the replay, he did actually push in there. He just didn't have quite enough to get enough damage. My reinforcement tier 1 actually pulled that one
Maybe
back.
we're
That
not
was
talking
I was
about
actually
the same
surprised he
moment.
didn't do more damage when I watched the replay.
Hmm.
But yeah, I see in the comments, Sensage mentioned I have a new mic. This isn't a new mic. I don't know why it sounds different. Maybe it's just I have a gravelly voice today because I've been fighting a cold.
No,
So
I was going to say it sounded like you had a cold, but didn't want to
Oh,
in case you
oh.
didn't. I always have a cold. My voice
Fair
is
enough.
so nasally, but it doesn't sound
So-
like that to me. It's not until I listen to it back that I really register how bad it is. But
oh right,
oh,
yeah,
anyway,
I'm definitely not top brow voice today. I've
Hmm.
had a sore throat for the last couple days, and so.
Okay.
Well, thanks for streaming, and
well,
putting those
no
games-
worries. Sorry, I wasn't exactly on the top of my game,
all right.
and I'm not the best interviewer, but I hope you enjoyed the tournament. Hope you enjoyed watching yourself, and hope that
Yeah, for sure.
hope that I didn't say anything too insulting. I can't really. I literally like the last 2 hours are just blank. I know that I did something. I just have no idea what any of it was.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I have that feeling before.
Okay, I desperately need a shower, so I'm gonna wish you good night if that's all right with you.
Yeah, that's all good.
Okay. Well, congrats, and hope to see you next time. I don't know, whenever the next league
Yeah, I don't-
starts, or whenever.
Work is getting pretty busy, so I don't think I'll be in next tournament, but I'm surely will be in the next 2021 because I work construction, so my busy season's the summer.
Okay.
So the winter is when I have the most time, and I don't want to go outside anyway, so I might as well play video games.
Nothing better to
All right,
do.
I'll let you go.
All right.
Thanks for.
See ya. Have a good night.
See ya.
Or day, whatever it is
You
for
too.
you. All right, guys. Toddles, toodles, pip pip cheerio. For real now. Thanks for coming and have a good night.